Gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 444. We had a last minute save come in here. As you notice, we're missing Evan. We have Couch GT with us though, but MVG came in last minute and was like, I'll do it myself. And here he is. It's been a bit. MVG, how's it going over there, sir?
Doing well, John. Thanks for having me back on the show. It's great to be here. Hello, Sean. How are you?
Hello.
Sean's watching some kind of death match. He pays $8 a month to watch people maim each other with forks and stuff.
It's a death match tournament, and I was watching the Knicks before it. Well, I was flipping back and forth.
Okay. Oh, wait, did the Knicks win tonight?
They did. They're in the finals of the NBA Cup.
I feel like they've been winning a lot.
Yeah, everything's been clicking. I think they've won 10 out of 11, so
no long walks outside at midnight then?
No, I haven't had to analyze traffic patterns to see what the optimal time is to jump recently. So
that's good. I feel like there's so many, like you guys were mentioning a couple shows ago, there's so many basketball games. It's like, man, so many chances at depression.
Yeah, for most people it probably doesn't ruin their mood, but if if you're like a real nut job fan, like it does. Like I'll just be like, I don't I'm going to bed now. Like I don't want to deal with anything. So
at least it's basketball. There's a game every 2 or 3 days, so it's not football or something where some football games is you got to go wait 10 days because it's on a Thursday to a Sunday or something. And you're just annoyed. But I guess if you're a Thunder fan, you're just living life.
They're an interesting team. I hope they beat the Spurs tonight. I'm sure they will, because I would like to see how we match up against them.
Well, we are running our fundraiser still from last week. So we are doing Toys for Tots. You can donate there. And the thing that I don't like, StreamYard, the one thing I've noticed is that they don't have things linked to that. So I have to go back to, let me open up the other chat here so I can see that as well. But you'll notice it's right next to it on the right side. We have raised $412 so far from last weekend to tonight. We're aiming to try to get it to $7. We're trying to do raise $1,000 throughout the course of the 3 shows we have in December for Toys for Tots. So we're at 412 right now. Got another 2 shows to go. So just throwing it out there, right? It's for good cause. So you can check that out down below. And I'll keep an eye on the chat and do some shout outs as we go as well. I think I can click them and I feel like they pop up here. So I'm going to do my best to keep up with that, because if you're kind enough to donate, I can at least recognize you, put you up on screen for helping out with Toys for Tots. All right. So let me go around here. MVG, what did you say you were playing? Terminator?
Yeah, I played Terminator 2D, No Fate. And I really like it, John. It's really awesome. And I've also been playing Dispatch as well.
Oh, Dispatch is good. Dispatch is good. I'm not ruining anything about that. Because the story is everything. For what episode are you on right now?
So I started Dispatch last week, and then I've been out of town all week, so I just got back. But I was on, I think, episode 3 or 4. It's kind of the story starting to pick up. I will say, when I bought the game, I started playing it. I was like, what is this garbage? Like I had immediate regret about the purchase, because I was like, what is this like robotic, like story fighting action storyline thing? And I bought it on the PlayStation, and I was like, is there a way I can refund this game? But I was like, I'll just keep playing it and see where it goes. And I'm kind of into it. I want to see where the story goes. So it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's 8 episodes, so you're being about halfway through. You've seen it at the end of every episode. They kind of have a way to try to push to the next one. So they're very good about that. But I like that game quite a bit, or kind of game. I don't know. People still go back and forth. I mean, it's interactive. There is that whole dispatch your heroes and stuff out to the world. So
I will say that felt like needless busy work. That I think that's the thing that made me feel like, can I just refund this game? But like, I don't mind the dispatching thing. It's not that difficult to do. It's just click this, do this, click this, do this, send this person here, send this person there. It's not that bad. I think the story obviously is the main thing, and the choices that you make and all that. And I do like the fact that at the end of each episode, it tells you, what percentage you were compared to everyone else and stuff like that. So But yeah, I'm kind of invested in it. I bought it, so I'm going to play through it and see where the story takes me. It's good.
Yep. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Terminator is good though. You're playing that, and so is Sean. You're both playing Terminator right now.
I
Game's fucking
am.
awesome.
Yeah, I really like the game. I only have one criticism, and that's I don't know if it's worth $30. I think it's. Here's the problem, right? And Sean, you may have a different take, and I am very interested in what you say about it. But the problem now we have is that Silksong came in and made like an indie game $20, right? So everything that is higher than $20, in this case Terminator 2, which is $30, you can beat it pretty quickly. And I know you can go back and do various different modes and stuff like that. There's different branching paths you can unlock as well. But there's really not that much meat on the bone here. But the meat that is on the bone is like the best meat you've ever had, right? It's so good. But the problem is the game is not big enough. And,
Of course,
and
Sean's laughing.
and that's I don't know. Like it's a hard sell for me for $30 personally.
Counterpoint. Hollow Knight doesn't have a big license attached to it.
True. That's true.
You know, you have accurate representations of most of the main of all the main characters. Like if you notice, like the doctor that's interviewing,
Yeah,
whatever. I can't think of her name.
Yeah.
Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
You know, that's a different caricature, but I think some of that just has to, you know, is due to licensing and stuff. Like I want the collector's edition, and I'm looking at it right now, and it's $120. And like, but I'm also like a massive fan of the movie,
dude.
And,
How good was the bar stage,
dude? It's so good.
Is the best.
Did they play up the thing where they always put something in front of him because he doesn't have any clothes on?
No.
I saw that in the trailer. They were just like they had stuff in front of him at all times, like the bike would go next to him, or
no, he's just pretty much. I mean, you can't see his dick, John. I hate to disappoint you.
No, but they were doing like the Austin Powers thing where they have something in front of. Like, it's kind of like comedic the way that they were doing it in the trailer. It looked like.
Yeah, they didn't do that, but like the scene is so. And okay, there's another thing. I mean, how much what's his name? George Thorogood or whatever?
George Thorogood, yeah.
He's probably charging a pretty penny.
And Dwight Yoakam, like the first song when you walk into the bar, Guitars and Cadillacs, or whatever it's called. Like, I was actually shocked when I heard those songs start playing. I was like, holy hell. So to your point, you're probably right that, you know, they probably spend a lot of money on licensing the songs and the game and the various things that go with it. But Arnold Schwarzenegger, there's no likeness of him in the game at all. If you noticed, there's everyone else, but like there's a sprite that kind of looks like him, but there's no like just still images of him or any animations or anything. So
the 75% rule.
That's pretty much how it is. But yeah, I think it's awesome. But I mean, you know, it's you know, look at like Ninja Turtles. You beat the newest Ninja Turtles, beat them up in an hour, and stuff like that. So I don't know. It doesn't, you know. I think if it was like, so like if you want a physical edition, I'm looking for physical editions. Those are $60. Like, yeah, okay. Feel free to not buy it for $60 for the physical. Buy the digital for $30. But I don't think 30 didn't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I'm also a huge fan of the source material,
Yeah.
and you know, it's just I love all the different types of gameplay it throws at you and like changes things up, and everything is just recreated very well. And
it's there's like 4 different styles of games in one. Like you've got like it's almost like Contra, Metal Slug in some stages, and then others is like a brawler, like a beat 'em up stage. And then you got the racing sequences. The way that they mix up the gameplay is really, really awesome. I love how they've done that.
Give a shout out here to some of the people who have donated. DC Fat Cat donated $5. Shout out DC Fat Cat. Ogre 33 with 5. There's an anonymous donator for Toys for Tots at 5. Another anonymous at 5. We have Shaq Rock, who donated $100 to Toys for Tots. So shout out to Shaq Rock for that one.
Shout outs.
That bumped it to 531 actually now. And then we have Sonic's LM donated 5 for Toys for Tots. I'm just trying to make sure I get everybody here. As like I can't click in StreamYard for some reason with that. That's there you go. That's something I need to fix, is make it so we can click if we're running a fundraiser for any of the names here. I think I got everyone. Okay. So, okay, Terminator, I'll get a chance to check it out at some point. I was playing Skate Story. I wanted to check that out because it went into PlayStation Plus day one, and it's a weird game. It's kind of that almost Killer 7 vibe where it's just you're this glass entity who's riding around in the underworld, and it seems like the idea is to eat all the moons. There's like 9 moons or something. You have to eat, like actually eat moons out of the sky. It's very weird. And like the whole time the devil is trying to stop you from doing it. And at one point you have to get their laundry and wash it at a laundromat and then hang it up and chase them back to. It's some strange stuff, but it is kind of it's an adventure skateboarding game. So it's very unique even with that. So you don't have like a stick that you flick like a skate or something. In order to ollie, you press circle down. I'm playing on the PlayStation. I went to PlayStation Plus day one, so I just download it there. And it's all timing based. There's a little thing that moves around in a circle, and you let go at a certain point, and it'll hit the ollie, but do a bigger ollie, and it'll give you more points. And then you can go between kick flips, heel flips, pop shove it's by pressing L1 or L2 or R1 or R2. Press and hold, then press circle. And there's a whole nollie system where you press up on the D-pad. The controls are kind of scattered, but it's very different from anything I've ever played. Apparently it's 5 or 6 hours long, and I'm 3 hours in and I've eaten more than half the moon. So I'm rolling through these pretty quick. But the way you fight the boss is they have a spotlight on the ground. You do tricks and then stomp on the ground with them, and it'll knock a health bar down until you beat them, and then you eat the moon. So it sounds weird what I just described, but that's Skate Story. The music is pretty cool. Like it legitimately kind of has like this techno vibe to it at all times. And when you crash, you actually explode and shatter into a million pieces because you're made of glass. So the optics, like the visuals, the art style is really, really cool. And I want to say it was one person who made this. Maybe we're a small team. I saw the person over on Twitter X mentioning it, like, oh look, people are actually playing my game. So it was either one person or a few people that made it. Not a big team. So pretty cool game. If you have PlayStation Plus, I think it went to extra and premium. I think it's worth a download just to try out a very weird and different kind of skateboarding game. It's hard to describe. You sort of have to just kind of experience it yourself. That was like the main thing I was playing. I did finish up. So I did finish up a few other games on my list there, MVG. So I've been compiling it now. It's
Okay.
Little better now in terms of the games that I'm almost done Borderlands. That's been kind of a whole thing.
That is well and truly a backlog game for me. I don't have it. I will get around to it at some point, but I never played it when it came out.
I did finish up Battlefield 6, and it wasn't very good. It's pretty bad. Shinobi's done. I thought there was something else I beat that I put on here. No, maybe not. Maybe I already went over that last week. Yes. Okay. Oh, Dying Light. I'm almost on that one too.
You beat Metroid though, right?
Metroid is done. Yes.
Okay.
Metroid is done.
Yeah.
That was an 11.5-hour game, and yeah, I think those are all the ones I had written down that was new. Metroid's on here. Yep. So, and Shinobi's done. South of Midnight's the other one I need to finish. I'm like 7 or 8 hours I thought into that one. So,
well, that's coming out for the Switch too, so I may just hold off and get it for that.
Yeah, that was a random announcement too. It happened before the Game Awards. Microsoft just said, "Hey, South of Midnight's coming to PlayStation 5 and it's coming to Switch 2 next year, spring, probably sometime after April 8th, because that's when it came out on the Xbox. So, most likely." And then they announced, Matt Booty did in a random interview, that they're going to have a developer direct in January with Playground Games being a big focal point there. So I guess we find out that they're going to release apparently Fable and Forza Horizon 6 in the same year, and we'll find out which one comes out first.
Probably Forza.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay, Forza.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay, I could see. I mean, I could see either one really, but Forza wouldn't shock me because it feels like they've done so many Forzas. I bet you they have that down to like just a science, a formula now for Forza Horizon. It's like we already know what we're doing. We can get this done. Fable just seems like such. People have said it seems like such an odd thing to see them tackle. So that's the one that might throw them through a loop. So
John, I think they'll date Forza, but they won't date Fable. I mean, they'll date it for next year, but they won't have an actual date for it.
Okay.
They'll say like summer, or probably not summer, but you know what I mean. They'll say holiday or whatever later this year or something like that. Whatever they say.
I think the Fable thing is just the curiosity out of it to see what Playground's going to do with it. I mean, I think we have enough history to know that Forza Horizon 6 probably going to be high quality. It's in Japan. There's a lot of excitement around that. Fables, man, it's such a question mark on that one. I don't know. I gotta see how that turns out. I do. When are you going to start up Metroid though, MVG? What's the plan on that?
Probably tomorrow, actually. Yeah. So I just got back today. I've just been like resting all day today, and play Terminator 2, of course. But I'm going to start up Metroid probably tomorrow.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, you'll let us know what you think of that. It's been kind of mixed around here. Sean and I were kind of like lukewarm on it, unfortunately. So,
I mean, from what I've seen. And look, I've played 0 hours, but from what I've seen, it looks like a pretty good game. But maybe there's some parts that just don't really fit within the Metroid Prime world that we know and love. So, but I'll let you guys know how I feel about it when I get stuck into it.
Yeah, well. I'll be curious to see what your thought is on the technical side. That's the part that everyone's like, yeah, it's probably the best looking Switch 2 game. So, see what you think about that. All right, the Game Awards. Let's just go over that because there were a lot of announcements here. A lot of things happened. I also pulled up I compiled all the awards that happened as well just to see. And from what I can tell, Clair Obscur was, I think, the only game that won multiple awards. I think everyone else won, like they were all separated between one game. So each game won a different award. But Clair Obscur, just about every category it was in, it won. It didn't win Best Audio Design. That went to Battlefield 6. So Battlefield 6 actually beat Clair Obscur in something. Otherwise, though, 9 awards for Clair Obscur. Expedition 33.
Is that a record?
It is. It is a record. Okay. I had to check. I had to pull some of the numbers, but it looks like the next, or the record it broke, was The Last of Us Part 2 in 2020 that had 7.
Wow. Yeah, yep. That's a sweep right there.
It cleared it pretty well. So here's the thing though, before we get into the announcements here, this, I guess because of, so if you watch the awards show, which MVG, I will say some of their reactions being posted online, clips of, because you know when they do the announcement for the game that wins, they have boxes of all the people in the crowd. Oh, here's Kojima, here's this, and they were catching some reactions of the eye rolls. I saw because there was one of Kojima where they caught him and he just like yeah, okay, like that, because it was like the 4th or 5th time that Clair Obscur had won during the broadcast. There were some that weren't on the broadcast that Clair Obscur won, right? It was like off to the side or whatever. Yeah. Every time that Clair Obscur was named in the nominations, it won on the stage. So they went up there, I think 4 or 5 times, I think, because the Game of the Year at the end. But they kept sending different people up there from the studio to accept their awards, and there were some side eyes going on. So people were bringing up the idea of, all right, this is what's on a line right now, some conversation, a limit on how many awards you can win.
No,
what do you think?
Come on.
What do you think?
No.
It's dumb as fuck.
Sean, educate this man, please.
That's
no.
Dumb
as
me. What do you mean a limit on the awards? If you
That's
want
what's
to
happening.
Win, if you want to win an award, step your fucking game up. Make a better game. No, that's some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
The participation award.
I agree.
No.
I agree.
First off, who cares if you win the award or not? Who cares? I'm sure that's really going to ruin Kojima's night of, I'm sure Jeff will make him feel better after the show.
Oh.
But like, I don't know. You're nominated. You're nominated for one of the best things. You got a free trip out there. You got to see a bunch of people. You didn't win the award. Who gives a fuck? It shouldn't. It's stupid, man. That's dumb.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people covering this. I think let me see. There's a bunch, as you figure on social media, a bunch of things like maybe there should be a limit on how many awards a place can win. I'm like, that seems like a strange thing to bring up now.
Losers with a fucking loser mentality.
I mean, I have to agree. I have to agree with Sean, even though he's being very direct about it. He's right. He's right. You can't just change the rules because you swept the awards, right? Like, you swept the awards because you clearly had a really, really good product that so many people voted for, both media and and the general public. It swept because it was just a beloved game across the board. I liked Expedition 33. I didn't think it was like the very best game I played this year, but I can see why it ended up winning and sweeping the awards. There was a lot to like about the game, and the whole small team thing and the art in the game and the audio in the game is incredible. And look, it deserved to win.
When Kingdom Come Deliverance, people said it was they were robbed.
These dumb fucks should be mad at. They should be mad at Newsweek. They should be mad at LA Times. They should be mad at all these outlets that are represented in the voting that actually decide what wins and doesn't win, that probably didn't play half the games that were nominated overall.
That came up ahead of the awards show. Like how many of these players are playing some of these games?
Hey, let me talk about something here. All right. I find it very peculiar how a lot of these fucking websites, Kotaku, Polygon, they ran all these fucking smear pieces on the Game Awards and Jeff Keighley and all this negative publicity. You know why they did it? Because this was the year that they weren't invited and had their asses kissed on and got all this free shit and backstage stuff and free tickets and stuff like that. So what did they do? They turned on them. It's the same stuff that normal people who see the award show for what it is, a very self-fulfilling thing that makes Jeff Keighley a lot of money, have been saying for decades. But they glazed it for years and years and years. And then when you look at like the metrics of these websites, when you look at how many views are getting monthly, it's fucking pathetic. You don't deserve to go there. You're getting 200 to 400,000 views. I think I looked at Kotaku got like 250,000 views in the last month. Polygon got 600,000 views in the last month. Every single motherfucker on this panel right here gets 4 views monthly on YouTube. So we should be the ones invited. Are we complaining? Are we saying, oh, we weren't invited? We should no, because we live in reality. Like, the video game industry has definitely pandered to websites for a very long time. And the second that things change slightly, not in their favor, they just run out and start making all these crazy ass articles. It's fucking pathetic. The mask fell down on you by doing all of this. And yet, you still go to the show. You bought the ticket. You gave Jeff his money. How are you going to complain about this shit? When you're still sitting there covering it, you're still there writing the articles on it, you're still covering every game about it. Like, come on, dude, it's corny.
Yeah. The one that I thought was interesting was I think it was Kotaku, the one that they said that it costs $1 million for 3 minutes on the Game Awards. Was that
it was $1 million for 3 minutes. I think it was $450,000 for 60 seconds. So
right.
Yeah, this is expensive.
Yeah, I mean, that may be true for like the actual like prime time, the peak window of time, which is probably like the middle of the hour type of thing. Mm-hmm. But a lot of those indies, those AA trailers that's like opened up the show and stuff like that, they're not paying that much money for it. I think they're just getting a little slot in at the beginning, and I don't think they're paying anywhere near that much.
And you know what's crazy? Nobody has a gun to your head saying you need to put your game on the Game Awards. And if you do put your games on the Game Awards, guess what? There are literally millions and millions and millions of people who watched you. People saw you on Amazon Prime. People saw you on the official Game Awards YouTube channel. People saw you on thousands upon thousands of restreams. That kind of publicity does not come around very often. And if you want the prime time, you got to pay for it, man.
Yep.
Like, why is this a big surprise? Why is this? Oh, I didn't know that it cost all this money to be on the big award shows. It's like, shut up.
Yeah. Last year, I think Jeff said there was 128 million views or something on it. It's like that's going to cost some money. So
Yeah.
I think this year it's going to be much larger because they were also on Amazon Prime. I don't know how many people opened up the video app and was like, oh, I wonder what the Game Awards is. Maybe I'll check that. I don't know how much that happened, but I'm sure there were some where it found some new audience that way. But just being able to have that kind of notoriety let's face it, remember the Game Awards 10 years ago, maybe a little longer ago. It wasn't exactly the biggest thing at that point. The most
that was when
thing.
That was when
Dorito
Boogie
Pope.
298. That's when Boogie 298 won Content Creator of the Year.
God damn.
yeah.
Should have won shitbag of the fucking decade.
We've come a long way since then. Now it's on Amazon Prime though, so there you go. It's made some moves, so it's going to cost money. Yeah, it is. It's putting that together.
It's a worldwide thing.
Yeah. It's not cheap. It's like we heard about how much like Super Bowl commercials cost crazy amounts of money. This technically gets more views than the Super Bowl, so there you go. But I don't get the whole thing about having a cap on how many awards you can win. That doesn't make any sense to me. So I saw that, thought it was a little funny because it seemed like Claire Obscure turned into a bit of a villain overnight. I noticed that too.
If Keeley wants to set the rules for the outlets and say, look, if you're gonna vote on this game, then I need like proof that you've beaten this game. You know what I mean? Like if he wants to set different rules about it, so some outlets actually play all the games that are nominated or something like that, or maybe if they haven't played like more than or less than like half of them or something, they're excluded from voting. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that I can get behind, but just saying, well, if you've won like a cap of 5, then you're not eligible for any more. That's absurd. Yeah,
you're gonna start asking for trophy data. When I see that gold trophy before you vote for this thing.
I need those save files.
Yes, sir. Post them up. Put them up on social media. We'll log them.
Need those save files. LA Times. What you got?
Yes, sir. Newsweek. That was just. It seemed like people started to get really annoyed at Expedition 33 because it was just winning a lot. I don't know. People voted for it. It was a good game.
Should have been annoyed at them wearing the berets. Now, that was annoying.
They said it was so in the game it's supposed to be a joke. And it turned into a whole thing where everyone was cosplaying as it. So they leaned into it. Whatever it is. So that's the funniest thing. It's such like a French game, Sean, that you're going to get annoyed most times if you play it, but you should play it.
No, you're going to get annoyed with the parry system. That is like the most ridiculous thing in the game. Everyone's like, oh, the parry system's so good. It's not. It is just the worst.
You need to play it, Sean, just to see what it's about.
Yeah, see, that's a bad thing for me when someone tells me I need to play something.
More for like the research of like just seeing it, just to see. That's all. So let's go over to the Game Awards here.
Do you know what the last game Newsweek reviewed was?
Oh my gosh! I like how you were looking into this as we were going. Okay, yeah, tell us what's the last game they reviewed?
Death Stranding 2.
Yep.
Really? That was the last one?
June 24th, they reviewed Claire Obscure, Death Stranding 2, South of Midnight, Monster Hunter Wilds, and then that was it for this year.
Oh, man, I would definitely be asking for some trophy data. There's some achievements or something. Hey, we got Steam achievements, we got Xbox achievements, we got trophies.
How are you qualified to be voting for anything?
That's some of these outlets are a little weird. I don't know. I get that they're trying to probably keep it to where it's. Although I don't know, maybe it would be better to go find some YouTubers who do a lot of the reviews. Maybe that would be better. I mean, it really is. I don't know, because when you read that out and it's like 5 or 6 games throughout the year, that seems a little suspect. Just pulling names out of a hat for some of these games in the office, maybe.
I mean, you're obviously not familiar with the material that's being discussed.
Yeah, that was a big conversation leading into the event for the panel. It's how many of them are playing through or aware of these games.
This can't be right.
What's that?
I mean, I clicked Newsweek video game review. Let me just read the list here. And just notice the time jump.
Okay.
Death Stranding 2, Clair Obscure, South of Midnight, Monster Hunter Wilds, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza, Lost Records, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2,
Okay.
Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Monster Hunter Rise, Sackboy, PlayStation 5.
What?
The PlayStation 5 system?
Yep. The Pathless, Miles Morales, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, Kirby Fighters 2, Ghosts of Tsushima, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Nintendo Switch Lite.
I'm glad you said Kakarot correctly.
I've heard you morons say it.
That's a very stacked list of tech reviews and hardware reviews.
Does anyone notice the year?
Is that the last 5 years?
And then after that, we have Pokemon Sword and Shield, Death Stranding, Concrete Genie, Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist, Link Evolution, Fire Emblem Three Houses, the Sega Genesis Mini.
Great system, by the way.
What are we doing here?
It feels like that was forever ago. It's like another lifetime.
Yeah.
And
interesting.
Well, let's take a look at some of the stuff that happened at the Game Awards. MVG has not had a chance to check out the entire show. He probably won't.
I didn't watch it.
I think he's good.
And I don't feel like I missed out. I caught the trailers for all the games I was interested in after the fact, but I didn't watch the show.
I mean, obviously you've watched the show in the past, MVG, but the biggest criticism is still the same here. It just feels so long, so drawn out at times.
So you guys tell me. So last year, I think it was 3 hours. Was it still 3 hours, or was it even longer this year? And I'm not talking about the pre-show, because the pre-show is like 30 minutes. So three and a half for the whole thing. Was it still around
3 hours again? It was 3 hours. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It finished up right at 11 p.m. Eastern time. But I clicked record because I record the whole show, so I have everything in decent enough quality. I could go through it real quick and check anything I missed. It was a little over 3.5 hour recording with the pre-show. So yeah, pre-show being 30 minutes long. I
didn't start watching till.
That's right. You came in about a third of the way through, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, like 9:40.
Okay.
9:45.
Okay, cool. I'll hit you with some of the stuff that happened then. Oh no, you were in because it started at 8, so you were in halfway through. Let's see. The pre-show we had the Free Shepherd, Decrepit, Audio Mech, and then we got those first 3 games they were rifling through themselves, but then we got the Pragmata, and that is coming out on the Switch too. April 24th is the release date, and there is a demo that's out right now on Steam for it.
Have you guys looked at it yet?
I have not. No. I downloaded on the Steam Deck, but I have not had a chance to fire it up and really sit down and check it out. I am seeing people put clips up on social media, and they seem pretty happy with it so far. The only thing is I see the clips, and it appears that when you fight an enemy, it slows down time a little bit, I guess, but the idea is to do like a puzzle with the little girl on the guy's back, and you do a puzzle, and then it hits the enemy.
Oh,
so I'm trying to figure out how all of that works and like how it's legitimately going to feel. I was kind of hoping they would have put it out for all the systems, so we could have seen even how it ran on the Switch too and done comparisons with things like the Steam Deck. But they only put it out for Steam right now, so maybe a demo will follow later. But the thing I noticed is Capcom is really going. They're showing up on the Switch too pretty early here with legitimate big releases, not smaller releases that they have off on the side. These are day one like AAA games from them. Coming out right away on the Switch too. No, I'm not buying the Amiibo.
You even put on a list if you buy that Amiibo.
I have
said what I said. Shit's mad weird, dog.
I have not bought any Amiibos in quite some time. Although I did see that GameStop put all their Amiibos on sale for some reason for like $6 or $7. The Street Fighter ones were marked down, and it is kind of ridiculous for people who have not bought into any of those expensive ones. You get 6 or 7 of them for $35 or something. Go to MG.
I was going to say, I do like that Capcom is doing these day and dates on Switch 2. It sounds like they've got their development process kind of synced up really well with Xbox and PlayStation and Steam. So hopefully, this is kind of the thing going forward with them, that all their releases are now on Switch 2 straight up.
They
Which
didn't
would be
make
great.
mention, MVG, they didn't make mention that the Switch 2 seems to be accepting the games a bit easier than what they had with the Switch 1. And I don't know if that's just because, hey, it has 12 gigabytes of RAM or the chip is just maybe a bit closer to what they were expecting for current systems or what. But they did mention, hey, we don't have to pare a lot back. It moves over a few things here and there and it's good to go. So it seems like it's at least showing in them with the day one releases on the system now. I mean, they're almost rapid firing them. Requiem coming up, and then a couple months later, Pragmata. So I don't know if we can start looking at Capcom as, I mean, at this point, all their games just about having a Switch 2 logo should be less surprising, I feel like, going forward.
Yep.
So that's good news. That is good news, though. The thing I would like to see Capcom do, though, is how we have like Ubisoft. It's something that I think goes it's kind of underrated for Ubisoft. They have your cross progression with your account, and it just moves across like everything. So that's a nice benefit. Switch to, then you sign in on your PlayStation, your PC, and your Assassin's Creed Shadows data moves over, or your Star Wars Outlaws or whatever. So that's something I'd like to see Capcom really lean into for all their games as well. Just cross progression with an account.
Yeah, the Ubisoft games are really good. I got the Switch 2 version of Shadows, and it just pulled in my save file from the PS5, which is really awesome. So yeah, I definitely would like. I mean, I want to see that happen across the board if we could, but having Capcom do it with Resident Evil games would be big.
See, we have Bradley the Badger. I was not sure what I was looking at with this game. This is from
David Solani, right?
Thank you. I always mess up his last name, and I feel bad about it because he directed the Mario Rabbids, and it's a very good game. Obviously, here he is now with a game that is like completely new, unique, and it's a parody of the gaming industry. Is what was being described as, not like a malicious parody. Is more, hey, tongue in cheek, having fun with it. They're jumping between different genres. There's this Badger that's kind of taking part in all these different. These different insults almost, but just having fun with it. So it's
a little too sassy.
It almost reminds me of Conker, but not like
M-rated Conker.
Yeah, 2025 Conker. Let's put it that way. And I think Grant Kirkhope is doing the music for it as well. So once I heard that David Solani was involved, or it's his game, and then Grant Kirkhope's in, and this is like a parody of the industry, or a Conker thing. I'm kind of interested in this a little more than I was, because initially when I saw the trailer, I was like, "This looks like another throwaway AA game." But the more I kind of looked at it, I watched it a couple more times and read about it. Might be worth a look.
Mm-hmm. Oh, shout out to Max in the chat, playing new season of Diablo 4. Good stuff. We had and then Stupid Never Dies. It kind of reminded me of that movie Warm Bodies.
That's another game that I watched the trailer. I started watching the trailer and it looked like zombie high school boyfriend or something. Yeah. And I wasn't really that interested. But once they got into the combat part of it, I was like, all right, this one doesn't look bad.
Action beat 'em up, almost action hack and slash kind of game it looked like, but it looked all right. It reminded me a lot of that movie, so it kept sticking out to me. 2026 on that one though. At least got a release year on it. The Free Shepherd, I didn't mention. We got a 2027 listing there for it, and that was the first game to open the show. And you see 2027, you go, man, that's where we are now. We're going to start seeing 2027 flash up on these screens now. Let's see. The main show begins 30 minutes in here with so we'll get to how this was structured as we go along, but I think this was an interesting one to open with because I think there was a better place to put this game. But a new Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic is what it's called, but people are looking at it as KOTOR 3 because they are bringing in Casey Hudson. It's leading development, single player RPG in the Old Republic era. And it's that the trailer was well done for it, but it was all, of course, a cinematic CGI and stuff. We have no real idea as to what the game looks like in game, but there was some concern around when it's coming out because there was, I think, Jason Schreier mentioned 2030 is optimistic for this game, which little concerning to then show it here. However, then Casey Hudson replied and said, no, it's going to be before that. We're gonna get this game done and out before 2030, which also still sounds kind of crazy to say. No, it's coming out before the 5-year mark. Don't worry.
I think Casey Hudson should have said nothing, because now you've kind of put yourself in a corner almost.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Because Jason did put that out there. I guess if Jason had said anything, Casey wouldn't have had to have responded. But I did see Unreal Engine flash up there in the credits, and I know Unreal Engine can help, of course, as we've seen, accelerate development at times. But the pressure to me is the biggest thing around the story, the structure of the game, and the RPG side. Sounds like they're going back to the well for KOTOR, and you got to do it right, especially after KOTOR remake has gone through it with development right now.
Here is the real question: who is publishing this game? Who is making this game? I know it's Casey Hudson, but it's not EA BioWare, right? It's someone else. And who is the someone else that's doing this?
That's a good question. So let me see.
I don't think the game is real.
I don't think the game's real.
No, I honestly don't.
Lucasfilm Games is publishing it, it says.
Okay. And
the developer it's Casey Hudson Studio, Arcanaut Studios. Arcanaut Studios. So Lucasfilm Games, I guess, is funding this one. Yes. What did the last one they did?
That shit ain't never coming out, dude.
You really? Well, I mean, really?
I don't think so.
Oh man, they need Casey's redemption. The last game that they worked on was Anthem. Man, this got people pretty hyped because, of course, KOTOR and Casey Hudson's coming back. They made a big deal about it. It's a good start to the show. It was just interesting to announce it that early, unless they're trying to just, hey, we're making a new KOTOR, come work for us. This is the call for developers, really, I guess.
This is a PS6 game.
Okay, that was also brought up, MVG, this being a next generation title that they haven't necessarily put the logo on. I think you're right. 2030, I'm sure they would like to also take advantage of, say, the PlayStation 5 install size by 2028 or 2029. There is something to it, though, to have a game that takes advantage of the new hardware in the first year of that new hardware. Even though it's a smaller install size, it is a more enthusiast install base that is honestly at times just looking to buy whatever. Look what happens on the Switch 2 right now. People are buying third-party Ubisoft games that I thought people hated. So that's how it goes.
Are they buying them, though?
They're showing it on social media, so I guess. I don't know.
Where's sales data, John?
That's
sales data I'm
fair.
seeing is Metroid Prime 4 not doing too hot.
Check the Switch 2 sale, the eShop chart.
That shit doesn't fucking matter. Get out of here.
The eShop chart. Then we went into the trailer for Divinity. Now, this is what the statue is for. Leaked out ahead of time through that trademark. I don't know what it was about this. This trailer set some people off online because it's a pretty violent trailer for. So Jeff is all about, this is kind of like the Oscars. It's a big thing. And then you show a trailer like this, and it's very much so still an underground kind of experience when you see it. It was quite violent. Person getting burned alive, ripped into pieces. And it was for Divinity. They didn't show anything.
Nope.
Technically with the game, other than we're making a Divinity game. And we did a whole statue. That was kind of
the trailer was cool. It was very impactful, but didn't see any gameplay or anything. No.
It does remind me, as people are mentioning in the chat, all that they're like, you said impactful, some said gruesome. And people have names for all different kinds of descriptions for it. It kind of reminds me a bit, MVG, of a trailer that I still have not forgotten about because of the reaction that it got. That Last of Us Part 2 trailer at the Game Awards when the person got their arm bashed in at the elbow.
Yeah.
People still remember it to this day because it caused such a reaction. So I kind of get it from Larian's perspective. It's like, let's do something that's gonna be a little different and just gross everyone out.
Fucking in the trailer?
Yes.
People are saying fucking in the trailer.
There is, yeah.
Huh.
Sean's gonna go check it out now. Let me go through some of the donations here. Go Blue donated $20 to Toys for Tots. Shout out to Go Blue. Raptor with a $5 for it. Let me see. Here we go. Dot Hack Legend donated $20 to Toys for Tots. We have an anonymous donation of $50. Toys for Tots. Oh, the chat just jumped. I had it. That was serious. There's a lot of 6-7 in the chat right now. Blue Knight donated $10 to Toys for Tots. Okay. I think I have that. $791 Toys for Tots right now. Shout out to everybody watching.
Hit $1,000.
Keep it going.
The support is very appreciated for good cause charity. Let me see. We are going to For Loop, and this is that. Man, these multiplayer games just aren't hitting when they show them. I don't know if it's just me. This is the game that Sony came in with bad robots, and it's the person who worked to make Left 4 Dead is making this, and it's 4-player PvE. They showed it off PS5, PC, and I felt like it was shown and then it was kind of gone. And that was it. And I have not seen anyone really talking about it. And I don't know. It just kind of came and went during the show.
I'll be honest, I didn't even watch the trailer for this one.
Yeah, that's these multiplayer games. It's so tough. There's so many choices and so many people are locked into their games already. You got to make an impact. Like the Divinity trailer. I get it. You got to make an impact. Here's one that I'll admit I was a little disappointed in this. It's Coven of the Chicken Foot. Okay, why was I disappointed by this? Well, this is from Wildflower Interactive, and Wildflower was formed by the director for things like The Last of Us. And if you watch this trailer, it's an old lady that you run around and jump and platform with, and then they have like this big creature companion that follows them around. Kind of like, I guess, The Last Guardian, but not at that scale. And I guess it's unique looking. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting Wildflower Interactive to show up with after the previous games of things like The Last of Us or Uncharted or stuff that Bruce Straley had worked on. So I don't know if for me, it wasn't a great showing because I'm not that interested in the game, but I'm curious if anyone in the chat. Yeah. See, people are like, yeah, Bruce Straley's doing it. So I'm going to check it out. That's fine. It just, I don't know. Maybe I was expecting something a little different.
Are you ageist? You don't like the grandma or something?
No, I just see that there, John. It seems so, I don't know, different than what I was expecting them to make.
I didn't watch the trailer for this one.
Yeah, it's just picture the games that Bruce Straley had worked on previously, then watch the trailer and you'll be like, okay, I guess. Let's see. We have Ontus, Sci-Fi Mystery, 2XKO on the consoles, Resident Evil Requiem. Okay. We got our shot at Leon. Leon is in the game. And he looks better than... So we have that promotional art that people were saying leaked out. Kind of looked like it might have been AI generated. And now we have an actual look at Leon, and he looks good. Looks like what I would expect him to. I think he's 50. Is he 50 in this timeline? I'd looked at how old he is. Like at this year, I think he's around there. But they showed Leon. He is playable. So we're going to have Grace and Leon both playable in the game, and their storylines are going to, they say, intertwine. So I assume we're going to jump from one to the other, back and forth. Or maybe they have it to where it's just set up as two separate storylines that you play through, play through A, play through B or whatever. And then you see it from different perspectives as we have in the past with different games for Resident Evil.
Intertwined.
Okay. So you think we're just going to jump back and forth depending on, say, the chapter?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it looked good when he was playing. It looked like Resident Evil 4, like that kind of setup, like kind of that. So Grace is not super soldier action hero like Leon is rolling around as, and they showed him fighting against the chainsaw at the end, so that was fun. But this game looks good. Every time they show it, it looks better and better. So I am very excited for this game, and it's out in 2.5 months.
Mm-hmm.
So not far off.
So let me ask you guys a question. What platform are you getting it on?
I'm a businessman.
I'm probably going to get it on PS5, and I'm going to get it on the Switch 2 as well, because I have to see how this goes, because we're seeing RE Engine hit the Switch 2, with, again, a big title day one. I have to see how it looks and get some comparison shots of it.
I was probably going to get on PS5 and optionally on Switch too. We'll see.
I mean, it'll go on sale eventually for cheap.
Yeah, and there's always the chance with, as Capcom does with the PS5, to do some kind of VR support. And man, I just don't get any real use out of that VR headset. So if there's even a slight chance at it, it might be worth checking out then. So that's kind of where I am with it. Switch 2 and PS5, kind of double up on them to see how it turns out. As you mentioned, Sean, kind of the business side of having the weird version, just to see how it runs and plays, and then the high def PS5 version. So,
well, Switch 2 looks like it's 60, but it's at least targeting 60.
I'm going to be curious about that frame rate. So I don't know if there's different modes even that you can do, or take advantage of the 40 and VRR and handheld. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff they can do here. So, because you know that thing's getting updated even after it comes out, how it always goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to Requiem. It looks good. It looks good.
Definitely my most anticipated game right now.
That is okay. That's the most anticipated one. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Xbox Game Pass ad did show Gears of War E-Day is coming out next year, and people were mentioning it also showed like Halo and stuff for next year. We kind of already knew that was happening along with the anniversary, but Emergence Day 2026, they also reinforced that online. So kind of snuck that into their ad, their Game Pass ad. It's interesting. We have Order of the Sinking Star. That's from the creators of Braid. It says more than 1,000 puzzles. They showed Exodus. I don't know. Maybe it's that we have so many space games. Maybe that's what it is. They're kind of they're blending together.
They should have done it based on Moses for Exodus.
Okay.
Cross the Red Sea, let my people go.
Well, this game kind of looks like Mass Effect a bit, like that third-person space adventure action game. I don't know. It's that situation where it kind of looks like a game that I've played in the past. So. That again, these space games, so many space games. Early 2027 on that one. Warlock Dungeons and Dragons.
And a Warlock of Firetop Mountain.
No. Gameplay reveal summer 2026, launch in 2027. Okay. Control Resonant. Here we go. New game in the Remedy verse. And they showed it's an action game, so a lot of melee combat they were showing. The standard weird psychic abilities, and it had that Inception look, as you expect, and it's coming out next year. That was a little surprising that Control 2 is next year, because I kind of thought Max Payne would be shown before the next Control. Remedy is just, man, I don't know how they do all this.
Well, isn't Max Payne Rockstar?
Well, yeah. So Rockstar is working with Remedy on Max Payne.
But Rockstar would be the one that would put the trailer out for it, right?
Right. I just mean, man, it feels like Remedy is, I don't know if they're stretched thin, but they are. Like,
what I'm trying to say is, like, Rockstar, they just do their own thing. Like they'll drop the trailer whenever they feel like it. I don't feel like Rockstar has any type of allegiance to the Game Awards in any capacity. They'll just drop that Max Payne stuff when they feel like it.
You know what's interesting? It almost feels like Rockstar has enough saved up right now to where they could do their own little event and just break the internet. Like, you have Max Payne. We already know 1 and 2 is going on. Then you have this Red Dead Redemption 2 update. People have floated the idea of there being some kind of GTA 4 thing out there. And of course, GTA 6. So they could do that if they wanted. Just, hey, we're going to do a little 15, 20-minute event for 4 or 5 games and come check it out. I feel like we haven't seen Rockstar have this much kind of loaded up in a while for game releases and reveals.
Rockstar Direct.
They could do it. The only thing is they'll do one every 13 years or something. This is how it goes. That's it. That's all we have.
Yeah, but they'll get like 1 billion views on that Direct.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. It'd be stupid. They'd have a lot of views.
I did like what I saw with Control, Control 2. I like Control, the original. This does look different in some ways. It does look more action based, but those Control games are really good. So yeah, I'll definitely check this out. I like Remedy games.
Building their universe. Keep
They did
building
good
it up.
work.
We have Gang of Dragon. That's Negoshi's new game. They made Yakuza, so this still looks. It's funny. They go off. A lot of these developers and studio leads and stuff go off, and I wonder, are they going to do something like I just mentioned with Wildflower Interactive, make something really different and weird? And no, this just still looks like they want to make a Yakuza game, and they're kind of doing that. So it's kind of what it looked like. Let's see, Street Fighter movie. All right. You did not watch this MVG.
No, I actually haven't watched the trailer for this. I have not watched the trailer.
Did you watch the you didn't watch the stage presence? None of this, right?
Mm-mm.
This was a weird one. Were you watching at this point, Sean?
Nope.
Okay. They bring the entire cast of the Street Fighter movie out on stage.
Curtis?
And I thought they brought everyone, didn't they? 50 Cent was out there, wasn't he? Though?
I don't know. I didn't watch it. You're telling me. You gotta tell me.
I'd have to check to make sure. I don't want to put them there if they weren't.
Yeah,
That's when they showed the trailer, he was there front and center, and social media was going crazy. No 50 Cent, thank you, listen. But they brought the majority of the cast out there, and it is this ragtag, mixed up looking group of people. And so they're standing there talking about the movie, hyping it up. They show us the trailer. I don't know what to take away for this movie. I just figure it's a popcorn flick. It kind of looks like they're not really taking it that seriously, the movie, and that's fine. A realistic and serious Street Fighter movie would probably just be weird.
It wouldn't land. I think that, I mean, I haven't seen the trailer, but if for all the things you're saying, it sounds like the right type of formula for a good, cheesy Street Fighter movie. Look, any Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter movie shouldn't take itself too seriously. It should be very just tongue-in-cheek in some regard. And, you know, I think it's going to be fine. I'll watch it.
Yeah, they have to understand going into the day one on the set, we're probably not getting nominated for an Oscar. So let's just have fun with this and just lean into the Street Fighter craziness at times. Anyway, they're up on stage, and I guess the comedian of the bunch is like, "Oh, don't worry, we have the Mortal Kombat 2 cast here. Come on out." And then, of course, they're not there. He's like, "Nah, just kidding. They just care about money. They're not here to see you." And that's so the Mortal Kombat director had something to say about that online, even though it was obviously a joke. And it was a very strange segment to watch unfold on Jeff Keighley's stage.
Jeff was hard as fuck, though. All those celebrities in the ring, it was off stage.
Oh, I mean, yeah, they had. I mean, the cast for that again. They just a very random assortment of celebrities for this movie. But yeah, like Cody Rhodes up there, and what's his name? Roman Reigns. No Curtis.
Who's Cody Rhodes playing?
He's Guile.
Guile, yeah.
And then Roman Reigns is Akuma.
Yeah, I could see.
Really?
That. I could see that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can.
Jason Momoa's up there. He's Blanca.
No, that I can't.
Okay.
How he can't pay himself?
See, if you watch the they do a quick character profile of each one of them, so you see what they look like. And I think they also posted them up on social media, so you can just see their card.
Who's playing Chun-Li, and is Cammy in it?
I think we got some fucking hottie playing Chun-Li.
So they do have like celebrities that you've seen elsewhere, and that's the thing that's kind of throwing me off. It's like, oh, Aquaman is Blanca or something like that. But then they also have some people who are lesser known, and this is a good role for them. So I think that's someone maybe can tell me if Chun-Li has.
Yeah, they said she's hot, so I was right.
Yeah, chat saying Cammy's in the game, is in the movie as well.
Hey, Vito, you fucking dumbass. I've clearly said that I watched the second half of the show. I was busy.
We're getting close to it now. I think this is almost the halfway mark, because did you see the Lego Batman thing?
No.
Okay. We'll keep going until you tell me. No, you know what? We're almost there, because I remember you typing in, why are there 2 Tomb Raiders?
But see, I didn't see that. So I didn't.
Okay.
That was after the fact. Because what I did was, after I wasn't busy, I just scrolled through YouTube to see what trailers popped up, and then I went and watched Blaze and Jack Move stream it, because I figure I can make uncouth jokes in there, and they would enjoy them.
We had Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, May 29th. We got the release date on it. It still looks good. They just showed more of it. I'll be picking it up. I think it'll be fun. They even had the quick shot of Joker where he's like, "You want to see a magic trick? I'll make this pencil disappear." That was in there. So they're leaning into a lot of the source material, and I like it. It looks good. May 29th. Put it on the calendar. Tomb Raider. We got two Tomb Raider games. This started to make the rounds. Some of it leaked out. Amazon wasn't happy. They were striking these videos down. They were just, you'd see it on places like Twitter X, and it was just copyright holder is like issued a claim on this. So Amazon was quite busy for 24 hours. But two different Tomb Raider games. Tomb Raider Catalyst was first shown. That is the new one coming out 2027. And then Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, that's out next year. Don't know exactly when, so it could be first half for all we know right now. And it is a remake of the first Tomb Raider game. And I'll tell you now, that first Tomb Raider game, a lot of those legacy Tomb Raider games from PS1 era kind of need the remake treatment.
Well, you had the remaster. That was pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
Changed up the controls. But no, the trailer, I don't really care about the cinematic bullshit of the first one, but that second game looks fucking fire. The remake of one. The dinosaurs looked badass.
I liked it. I like Tomb Raider. I've never been a huge fan of the first, bunch of games. I kind of like the more modern take.
Angel of Darkness.
Yeah, Rise of the Tomb Raider and all that kind of stuff. But the trailer looked really good. I'll definitely check it out. I liked it.
Yeah, the Survivor series I thought was Rise of the Tomb Raider is like top tier stuff for just video games. Yep. Rise of the Tomb Raider is very good. That was where the entire thing peaked. Shadow Tomb Raider kind of fell off a little bit. 2013 was, I think people liked 2013 because it was, as you mentioned, MG, impactful, but it was violent in the sense that Lara got killed in like 80 different ways.
Yeah. It was good.
Crazy stuff. But I Rise of Tomb Raider is still like one of my favorite ones from that time. And when you see this remake, it looks good. I think the design of Lara Croft looks very good. The gameplay, everything they were showing seemed in line with it, where it's kind of that almost that Uncharted Indiana Jones kind of look to it, right? Raiding tombs and stuff. So as you mentioned, Sean, the dinosaurs, they made sure they put that in there in the trailer so you see them. This is good.
Coolest parts of the game. Quick aside, chat, did John Cena win or lose?
Oh, good question.
Good question. Should be over.
Also, did you notice that they showed the dual pistols constantly in that trailer? Or like you don't have to worry, you get them right away. Don't worry, you already have them in both games. We're not doing this thing where you're going to go through the series and not even really get them like that to play through.
But if you remember, in the original Tomb Raider, you start with dual pistols. Like in that very first section, when the wolves start attacking you, you bust out the dual pistol straight up.
But that's the whole thing is when you went through the Survivor series, it's like she's gonna turn into Lara Croft. It's gonna happen, and then so I do like that they were just dual pistols. Don't worry, we got them. So it's I think this is good. Hard to say what Catalyst is gonna be. I don't know. It could be more like Survivor. Could be a whole new thing. So,
that just looked like a CG trailer almost.
It was.
Yeah.
Yep. 2027. We still had some time for that, I guess, but the remake soon, within the year, obviously. So looking forward to that. Good to see Tomb Raider, the conversation at least, interest back for it, because it's been pretty quiet for Tomb Raider for a while. Yeah, the Forest 3, Invincible versus Orbitals. So this is this co-op game that's a Switch 2 exclusive that Jeff really wanted people to know is a Switch 2 exclusive. Space. It has like this retro anime aesthetic. 2026. You right over there, Sean?
I just thought it was so funny watching all these Nintendo channels glaze the game when if that shit was an Xbox or a PS5 game, they would have fucking batted an eye at it.
What it looked like, it was kind of that idea that we've seen with It Takes Two or Split Fiction. The idea of you need to find someone to play this with. I don't think it's going to do maybe it will, a friend pass thing. That's what really helped out those co-op games.
But did game share?
Game share could work, yes. That is a good feature to tap into for this, yeah. But it's different. Look, I guess the idea of like the character models, the sprites almost on the backdrop, it looked weird. Not in a bad way necessarily, but I'm playing Split Fiction right now, and it's fun. It's a very good game. Definitely relies though on the co-op thing to where you got to make sure you have another person ready to play the game as well. So
Electric Video Gamer says it uses Game Share.
cool. Okay, good. That works then.
That's one of the best fucking features on the system.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
Oh, Cena tapped. Good. I'm glad he lost.
Not the first time he's tapped out.
That's what the chat's saying.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm not a Cena guy. Like I liked him back in 2003 when he was first coming up, but like after that WrestleMania 20 match against the Big Show where he won the U.S. title, I still liked him a little bit, and then he just became Super Cena, and I was like, I don't like this. This is boring.
I thought he never gave up. He just gave up.
Good.
Oh, there you go. Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred. It's
Max is playing it now.
Yeah, Max is playing it.
Well, I don't know. This is out April 28th.
Oh.
Oh.
But
I think that's
you got the early copy.
I think he's playing a new season that came out. This is like the expansion. That's they just showed a cinematic trailer. Blizzard's very good at cinematics. That's still my takeaway from this whole thing. I don't know. 007 First Light. Lenny Kravitz is in the game, Sean.
Fuck Lenny Kravitz.
Playing Balma. I think that's
him.
What happened here, Sean?
All right, so here's the problem with Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz, what was his first song?
Are you gonna go my way?
All right, this motherfucker comes out of nowhere, sick ass riff, sounding like a bit like a little Hendrix in there, a little fucking, great shit. And then all of a sudden, what happens? You get all this fucking bullshit from him. He turns into a pop star. All of my life, where have you been? A crappy cover of American Woman, like the original Clears. And he just started making shitty music. And it's like, dude, you literally, you came out with this look, this image, this awesome song. First album was great. And then you turned into this pussy. And just made this crappy middle-aged white women music. I can't stand Lenny Kravitz. Another song I hate too? You know what song I hate the most in the world? It's not Lenny Kravitz. Owner of a Lonely Heart by Yes?
Oh, yeah.
I fucking hate that song. You know why I hate that song? Because it starts out and it's got that and you're yeah, this song's gonna be the fucking shit. And then they just turn the gain down to 2 and it's like it's like, what happened to the fucking gain? You fucking fooled me.
I have to agree with Sean 100% on that one. I always hated that song for the exact same reason. It sounded like this metal song that was about to start, then it just turns into dog shit real quick.
What did you it's not I'll listen to it, but the whole time I'm like, what happened? Where did we go wrong? Yeah, Lenny Kravitz sucks.
All right. Let me read off some donations for the Toys for Tots after that rant. Anonymous, we have donating $20. Toys for Tots. We have another anonymous donation at $5. Let's see. I have to scroll through the chat on YouTube. We gotta let StreamYard know about this. Serious business. Port Town Send Glassworks 2020. Donated $5. Toys for Tots. Okay. And the chat reset. Yes. Okay. They did another 5 then? They donated twice. Okay. We're good. I got them. All right. Anyway, Sean, the good news is Lenny Kravitz, I think, is playing the antagonist in the game. So
that soured me on the game.
Wow, that hurt you that bad? 007 first.
I don't need Lenny Kravitz in a James Bond is known for villains and stuff. And I said this in my video. We didn't play I still didn't understand this heavy reliance. It's not like we played GoldenEye because you play as Pierce Brosnan. Nobody cared. You played the game because it was a fucking good game. I don't need Lenny Kravitz as a bad guy. I don't need Eminem and Hitman. What are we doing here?
Yeah, it kind of dilutes it for me as well. I'm not gonna lie. James Bond's always been about just these villains that you don't really know who they are at the start of the movie, but then by the end of it, you're like, that villain was amazing. And I feel like they could have done something similar to this game as well. Some of the best Bond villains, they're not, anyone famous or anything like that. They're just Bond villains. So I feel like they should have done the same thing here.
Yeah, Jaws, Odd Job, and Lenny Kravitz.
Yep.
Get out of here.
Yep. Le Chiffre from Casino Royale, one of the greatest villains ever.
haven't watched that movie in forever.
Get away.
I think that's one of the few.
Fly
I think it's one of the
away.
few movies I've ever buying on Blu-ray for the first time was Casino Royale.
It's a good movie.
Oh, he's not the main villain. He's a special contract, according to the chat. But I don't need. He doesn't need to be anywhere near the game.
Oh, special contract. Got it. Let's see. We have Hogwarts Legacy is free on Epic Game Store until December 18th. You have to download Epic Game Store, so I'm sorry, but you get it for free. So there's that. Let's see. Lords of the Fallen 2 gameplay was shown.
That's the first thing I saw live.
Okay, Lord. All right, good. So we're good there then. We're picked up here. So you also saw that Saros got delayed. Quiet delay.
Yeah,
April
by a month.
30th. Man, that's rough. That's rough. April 30th. I mean, the game still looks. I was gonna pick it up either way. It still looks good. So I will. I'll be checking it out. No Law. That's cyberpunk first-person action shooter from the creators of The Ascent. They have that straight boot kick, like where you like your character just immediately kicks directly forward with a massive boot. They
Yeah.
kept doing that in the trailer.
It looked okay. It might be something to keep an eye on.
It's like a straightforward like arcade shooter, but it's interesting. The Ascent. It's not really something I'd expect them to go to, something like that, but could be cool. Total War Warhammer 40K. A lot of excitement here for that. It's a certain audience, I think. Certain audience. They had Hopper from Stranger Things out there introducing this one. It's very interesting. I don't know what that was about. Wait, actually, isn't that Christmas Day, Sean?
What?
The Stranger Things, the next drop.
Oh, I don't know. We'll be watching the mix, pal.
Did you watch the first few episodes now they put out?
No, I told you I'm waiting for them all to come out.
You're waiting
I don't
for
think
them, okay.
I don't think it ends till 2026.
New
Like
Year's Day, I
January.
think, is when they're dropping. So they're gonna do. They already did a drop. They're gonna do another drop of episodes. Then January 1st, New Year's Day, they're gonna drop a 2.5 hour finale for the whole thing.
Right. Yeah.
It's
So
a
I'll watch
movie.
it then.
Yeah, so that might be the way to go because they're doing their cliffhanger. Oh, stay subscribed to Netflix for 3 months because they put it on January 1st, so you can see everything.
Yeah, we'll be pirating that shit, pal. Arg matey.
Okay. Ace Combat 8, Wings of the Eve.
Now we're
MVG was hyped
talking.
for this. All right.
That's game of the show. Game of the show for me. I love Ace Combat games. Ace Combat 7 was fantastic. So I'm pretty hyped for this one, John.
I wanted to ask you about this MVG because the Ace Combat games I'll check out here and there as we go. Ace Combat 6 is still one that sits in my memory as like that was it for me back then on the 360 with the big. I got the flight stick thing. It was $130. Got the big flight stick where it was also color coded. I think for the 360 it was the red, green, blue buttons or whatever, and then it had it was all white. It was really nice set for $130 with the game. Ace Combat 7 also good. This looked like there was more of a narrative thing going on because at first I went, wait a minute, this doesn't look like Ace Combat.
This has it seems like there's a lot more story in this one.
Yeah.
In Ace Combat 7, there was a little bit of it, but the story is usually pretty nonsensical. But there was definitely some story in Ace Combat 7, but this one seems like it's very narrative driven. However, sometimes they show only a portion of what they want you to see, right? Like it still could be, and I'm expecting it to be just that classic Ace Combat formula, where it's just kind of mission based with story elements in between the missions themselves. But no, I liked it, John. I thought it looked really cool. This is Ace Combat 7, I think, did a lot better than Namco was expecting. I'm not sure why my camera just died. I'll figure that out. But yeah, it's a good game, and I think for me, it's probably the best one that was in the showcase.
Funny enough, the thing that really stuck with me for Ace Combat 7 is the soundtrack is actually like top tier stuff.
The soundtrack, the Ace Combat soundtracks are all really, really well done.
Oh, and that when Daredevil, if anyone in the chat is unaware, that is a crazy track to kick in when you are like flying around in dogfights. And that it's good stuff. So I'm looking forward to that too. That is they put a 2026.
Did it have a Switch 2 logo on it?
I didn't see one.
Okay.
It was, but Ace Combat 7 did come to the Switch much later. I feel like Bandai Namco probably not as on board yet as Capcom as they're working to get everything figured out. It'll go to the Switch too, I feel like, eventually. So
Yeah.
Wouldn't shock me. Star Wars Galactic Racer got shown. It's not quite just pod racer. It seems like there's gonna be pod racers in it. I think they're just taking all the vehicles or a mix and match of vehicles from just the Star Wars franchise and throwing it in there. But this is from Fuse Games. They're a new studio, and they were formed from Criterion devs who did Need for Speed and Burnout, and they're working on a Star Wars racer like this. Because at one point they showed cars crashing into each other and exploding in the background. So I think there's gonna be some Burnout in this one too. But I'm up for a spiritual successor to Pod Racer. That was a good N64 game back in the day. Let's see, Out of Words, stop motion co-op game, 2026. Phantom Blade Zero. We got the release date on it. September 9th, 2026. Thing with these Unreal Engine games, especially Unreal Engine 5, the more that gets shown, the more they are starting to look very much the same, and
they just blend into each other. They all start to look the same.
The thing that
Feudal
this game
Japan.
has, the thing that Phantom Blade Zero has is the animations are very good, the choreography is good, and the bosses look very interesting. But man, they're starting to blend together all this. So I'm hoping whatever they do with Unreal Engine 6, they can figure something out for that, because I don't know if it's the color schemes, the character models, the environment. I think maybe it is the environments. Maybe that's the big one for Unreal Engine 5. But they start to. It's like as you mentioned, Sean, feudal Japan, but then it's like gray and now gray brown, and like the environments all just clash together. I don't know. It's very similar. It's like I got my space games, then I got my feudal Japan games, and then the lights went out in the theater. Jeff rightly brought the orchestra up, and we went down a hallway, the lights illuminating as they brought the camera down, panning up to the door. DLN 000 appeared, opened up smoke. The Mega Man sound starts to fade in.
Like what are you trying to hype up here? What game deserved all this accolade and build up?
This game got some reactions on more than I was expecting. Because so Nate does his thing. Predictions, not leaks.
Yeah.
I see Mega Man in there. I'm like, hold on, you wouldn't put Mega Man in there if that wasn't actually going to be a thing. I'm calling it out now. And so I'll admit I kind of went into this thinking Mega Man, but we were getting to the end of the show, and I'm like, I don't know, is Mega Man not a show closer, but you start to get to the end, and does it make sense here, or does it make sense somewhere in the middle of the show, or early on, even something? No, it was there, and it got reactions. I went back and looked at some of the streams that are just out there just to see how people looked at Mega Man. People were pretty excited. I will give them that. I don't know if it's because it's been a little while to Mega Man 11, and I don't know if Mega Man 11 really set the world on fire or anything. It was a good Mega Man game, but it wasn't like crazy over the top or anything like that. So they show the game, and people are already, of course, going back and forth online about this one because it's not out till 2027, which is already kind of like, that's interesting. Dual Override is what it's called. And it immediately drew comparisons to Mega Man 11.
Well, yeah,
because the way it looks.
why.
So, yeah, in my opinion, just me, I wouldn't have shown the game in the current state that it's in, because obviously it's very, very early. As far as the graphics, there's like barely any type of post-processing. There's barely any lighting. Like, it just looks like they just showed the platforming part of the game, and it looked very stale to me, right? So I feel like they should have just held this. Like Capcom, they have their their showcases every year, and they usually do stuff like that, maybe for Summer Games Fest or something. But I probably would have held this back personally until the game looked better. I don't think there's anything wrong. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with what they showed us, but I feel like it could have shown so much better if they just had waited. So I don't really feel like they needed to do it at this point, because I feel like there's still a lot more work that needs to be done on the graphics side.
Yeah, they could have just shown, I think, the initial opening animation, Mega Man teleporting out, and then maybe had him drop in and do the title card reveal. They probably could have gotten away with that. I guess they really wanted to show that it's still going to be a 2D classic kind of Mega Man game. maybe that's what the thought process was here. They did the whistle at the end, so Proto Man is going to be in the game. It's not sure if he's playable. There was also some apparent hints that Base might be in the game too. So you see the title, the dual override, and think, well, two characters maybe you play as. So maybe it's Proto Man and Mega Man, maybe it's Base and Mega Man. They just kind of go the Mega Man and Base route. I'm interested. 2027 is the 40th anniversary for the brand. If people are wondering why they're doing 2027, that's the answer. And apparently there's some other stuff they're doing too. Is what the word is right now.
Show that in the Game Awards 2026.
Yeah,
that's my
thing.
You're right. Just
wait.
You're right about that. They could have. They just made a pitch to their investors in that briefing. That's like, oh, we're gonna go and build up Mega Man. We're gonna build up Devil May Cry and Ace Attorney. And I don't know. Maybe they said, hey, let's get started. That's all I can assume. Unless, hey, maybe it's first half of 2027. They're thinking we're 16 or 17 months out from this thing releasing.
Yeah, but the big game of the show comes out in January. So yeah, they could have done something similar.
Yeah, MVG's right though. I'm gonna wait and see what they have when it's more finalized. The proportions of Mega Man look different than Mega Man 11 though. He looks more like Mega Man 7 or Mega Man 8 as people were starting to do comparison shots of him. So he looks like a more serious Mega Man, whereas in 11 he looked kind of like a more chibi version of Mega Man, almost like Mega Man powered up kind of. So I would, the only thing, so I know people, again, it's cool to see Capcom actually recognize Mega Man. I really wanted to see X9 because I think that would have taken on a completely different kind of art style. So maybe in the future, I don't know. It would be a long time.
Wasn't X8 the Sega Saturn game?
X8 was the PS2 game that they did.
Oh yeah.
Killed the
X7,
franchise basically.
Yeah.
X7 and X8 killed the franchise. So they haven't done anything since then. I would like to see that, maybe even done with RE Engine, because they've done 2D games with RE Engine.
Yeah.
And that would enable them to break away from what they've kind of established with Mega Man, which is, as you mentioned, MVG, maybe a little simplistic looking, move away from that. And they could do something really cool, some cell shaded, some kind of comic book look. I don't know. They could do some cool stuff with it if they want to keep that 2D. But obviously, I'm excited to see Mega Man back, 40th anniversary. Maybe they'll do that, and then they'll also do a Mega Man Legends collection, because my gosh, those games are stupid expensive to where people are just emulating them anyway. So you may as well sell them an emulator with a ROM or a disc at this point. So let's see. We then had the closeout. Okay, so this is very confusing to me. I don't know who made this call. It would have had to have been Jeff. They close out with a game called High Guard. Okay. High Guard is a PvP, they say, raid shooter from developers behind Apex Legends and Titanfall 2. They have medieval themes in there. They have guns, magic. You're on a horse riding around in the countryside, destroying people with guns from the future, it looked like. And it's out January 26th. It's a free-to-play live service game, basically.
You're not setting the stage up well enough, though.
Okay.
Jeff fucking glazed this shit for like a minute straight, like it was going to be, nobody's even heard about this game. You know why nobody's heard or leaked this game? Because nobody gives a fuck about this game. I'm literally watching the stream of people that love to play Blaze and Jack Move, well, especially Blaze and his the other guy that was on there. They love these games. And they, like, within 30 seconds, because they were like, oh, Titanfall, maybe it's like a Titanfall-inspired game. They're like, no, turn this shit off. The guy that they showed looked like a knockoff low-tier god. The whole thing just looked like, it looked like Overwatch Concord Edition special Valorant theme. Like, it was just slop.
It's getting downvoted into oblivion everywhere.
Dude, it was like, I looked last night at the IGN trailer. It was 2K likes to 16,000 dislikes.
It's worse now. It's worse now.
That's insane.
I'll look right now. I know it's worse now.
They must have paid a massive bag for that closeout spot too.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
If you would have been in like the middle of the show, you would have been all right. But to have this fucking glaze session and then this is what you come out with, like, what the fuck is wrong
I got
with you?
3,000 likes to 28,000 dislikes right now on here.
Sounds
Wow.
about right.
Yep. It's
That's-
getting obliterated.
That's a lot.
I think you're right, Sean. So it was the closeout. If this was middle of the show somewhere and he said the same exact thing and they showed it and we moved along, and on the other side of the whole thing, Star Wars, this KOTOR game is going to close out, I think people would have been fine with all of that. It probably wouldn't even be getting downvoted as it is. I mean, it's still probably getting downvoted, but
you could have
not
done
like this.
You could have done Mega Man as the final thing,
sure.
and it would have went over
would've worked.
better.
What closed out last year?
Okay,
remember?
so I'm glad you asked, because I went ahead and took a look to see what we were dealing with here, because I remember there was one year, I feel like it was 2018. Remember when Fast and the Furious closed out?
Yeah. When Vin Diesel came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tekken.
And we were like, what is this? I kind of feel like a lesson would have been learned at that point. And maybe it was, because for a while it was okay. So 2020 was the next Mass Effect, I believe.
Okay, which still hasn't released, by the way.
Has
Never
not come
coming
out.
out.
No, it has not come out.
It'll be right out there with the new Star Wars KOTOR game, never coming out.
2021 is when we got that Matrix Awakens, the Unreal Engine 5 experience, and they just dropped it right then and there, and it was like, this looks insane, and it was, Matrix. People were excited for that. It was fine. 2022 was Final Fantasy 16.
Okay,
where we even saw in-game footage of it.
Yeah.
It was a big thing.
that's a good closer.
People were excited. 2023 was Monster Hunter Wilds.
Okay,
People were excited for that world premiere. Showed everything there. And then last year was Intergalactic.
that's right. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah,
Which,
So-
I mean, even if you're not interested in the game, it's a better announcement than this hogwash.
yeah. It's Naughty Dog's next IP, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So that's the thing. It's like, I read all those off to you, and then I'm like, oh yeah, 2025, High Guard, the free-to-play PvP game. You go, what? Okay. It's just, it seemed weird. That's the only conclusion I can come to, MVG, is just money. That's it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, look, Jeff is obviously aware of a lot of this stuff. Like, come on, he looks at all the social media stuff. He's very aware of the position right now in the view on live service games, especially free to play ones. That, I mean, let's be real. I guess there's a different idea of, we're gonna mix medieval with modern guns and stuff and horseback riding, whatever. It still kind of looks like that Fortnite art style has found its way in there too. So immediately people are gonna go, what is this? What am I looking at?
Cry into his piles of money, like,
Yes. So here's the thing, though. He put out a poll at the end of all of this and asked people on social media to grade the show, like give it a letter grade. And I almost wonder if that final reveal did that much damage, because D was the leading choice.
Really?
Yeah.
He normally gets like a B, I feel like, every year.
Yeah,
Like even when I
39%.
think the show is the worst Game Awards ever, it kind of usually gets a B from people, because the closeout really kind of the closeout is the most the thing that
memorable.
that people really like connect with. And if you have a strong trailer at the end or a strong closeout, you kind of remember the show for the closeout, and then you say, okay, that was pretty good. B.
Bro, you could have done the 2 Tomb Raiders as the final thing. That would have hit harder.
Sure.
I think so.
I think that's the thing. That's a big misstep on the structure of the show, because we're already naming multiple things that they could have done High Guard and then immediately went over to the Tomb Raider games, and people would have been like, oh, cool. All right. That's not the last thing. So that had to have been just a massive bag. That's the only thing. Hey, we want you to close out with this. We want this to be the big thing. How much money will it take?
Yeah.
We're
That's
not
all-
talking about the real exclusion from the Game Awards, though.
Okay. What's the exclusion?
Well, there's technically 2 things,
Mm-hmm.
because I saw all these videos pop up on my subscription feed and people sharing them on social media. I was told that there was going to be a big Monolith game there. I was told that 4K Ocarina of Time was probably going to be there. Nintendo was going ham for this Game Awards, even though for the past 4 years they haven't done diddly jack shit. All of a sudden, this was going to be the year, and I feel like every year they're supposed to go ham. But where was Monolith? Where was Ocarina of Time 4K? Do you think that maybe they got pulled at like the last second because like there was a controversy or something like that, or what do you guys think?
Well, they needed high guard. It went over. They went over just past 11, so they had to cut some time.
I think ever since that Samus Hunter account tried to tell us there was going to be some type of Zelda blowout, like about 3 Game Awards ago, that didn't happen. I've stopped really putting any stock into Nintendo showing up at the Game Awards with anything.
I don't know,
look,
man.
here's another way to put it. Nintendo, like, they're at the point now where they're like winding down for the year. Like they've released all their games, the holiday games are out. This, you know, they've had the sale on the systems, $450. They're not doing anything for the Game Awards.
I don't know, man. These people seemed really convinced. And the amount of people in the chat that think I'm being serious right now is astounding. Holy Christ. Jesus fuck.
Well, that was the Game Awards all the way through. Claire Obscure Expedition 33, of course, wins Game of the Year. They close out with that. And I actually think the show was fine, other than the high guard weird misstep. But it's just, no matter what, because Jeff wants the thing to be 3 hours long, it's just always going to feel like it runs too long. I don't know what else to say, but otherwise, the reveals weren't bad. Like, there were some good things in there. It's just, the structure was just kind of weird at the end.
I mean, Ace Combat, Tomb Raider, Resident Evil, Pragmata, Mega Man.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some good stuff in there for sure.
I think a lot of it comes down to, though, people were going into it hoping for like new announcements, like Resident Evil, Pragmata, you know, those exist and stuff like that. So you could show them and stuff, but it just felt like, I don't know. You know, I'm not, like I said, from what I saw, it seemed like your average Game Award show that, you know, he puts out every year, 3 hours long, so he can have a bunch of gotcha game advertisements straight from China so that he can make millions and millions of dollars. Like, yeah, he likes the video game industry, but I think he likes money more. And he should.
Sure.
You know, he should. But, you know, it's the same old thing, but now the websites are surprised about it because they didn't get their VIP access. So, you know, what do you do?
Let me give some shout outs here. Whiskey Tango Fox Die donated $20 for Toys for Tots. We have Lonesome donated $20 Toys for Tots. We have Anonymous donation $5. And Pickle Rick donated $2 for Toys for Tots. Let's see. That's everything. We are up to $898 for Toys for Tots.
Let's get it to 1,000.
Shout out to the chat and the audience. Appreciate the donations for a good cause. A good cause. All right, let's go over to this real quick. MVG, we have a situation with Call of Duty. You are one of the resident Call of Duty people on this panel. Here's the thing, though. MVG has mentioned, hey, the multiplayer is actually not bad this year, and it's not actually. It's the multiplayer is pretty fun. All right. Here's the thing. It still kind of feels like last year's Call of Duty.
The multiplayer this year is better than last year, but let me also say that it's better in that they've just refined the multiplayer from last year and just kind of tweaked things here and there. So another way to look at this, and I think this is the biggest criticism that the Call of Duty is getting this year, is that it's not really that different from last year. And, you know, people are still spending a lot of money on this. I know it's on Game Pass, but, you know, there's all the season passes and all that stuff that you still got to pay money for and what have you. But the biggest issue with Call of Duty, and I tweeted about this a few weeks ago, was the fact that you're going from Black Ops 6 to Black Ops 7 it's just it doesn't work. You have to have that thing where you switch it up every year. And they've been doing that for a long time, right? They went from like Modern Warfare to Black Ops, and then World War or whatever, or maybe another type of Call of Duty,
Vanguard or
Vanguard, Advanced Warfare, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I think this week, I think this is what you're alluding to, that they announced that they're going to be going back to that type of format, which I think is the right thing to do, because honestly, like, I like the multiplayer in Black Ops 7. I think it is better than last year. But on the flip side, it's also Black Ops 7. It's like there's only a limited amount of time I feel like I'm going to spend on this. And yeah, they can drop in new maps and all that stuff, which is kind of cool. And I'm sure Warzone will come out. But here's the thing. Warzone is probably going to have a recycled map anyway, because they're not going to make a new map for Warzone, I don't feel like. So, yeah, Call of Duty is not in a good place right now. I think they kind of just phoned it in a little bit this year. I hate to say it.
How was that campaign, MVG?
The campaign was awful. It was really, really bad. It was the worst campaign I've played, and I've played them all. This one just was. I didn't even know what they were doing, John. Like, you're kind of running in some forest somewhere, and all of a sudden you just kind of transform, and you're fighting like a giant what's his name, Michael Rooker, as the boss fight. Like, it's just the weirdest campaign I've ever played. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and I think they know that. Like, I think they are going to go back to some semblance of a traditional Call of Duty next year. Well, at least we can hope they will. But wasn't great at all.
Yes, they released that, as you mentioned, that update over on their website, their blog. They say they'll no longer do back-to-back releases of Modern Warfare or Black Ops games. The reasons are many, but the main one is to ensure we provide an absolutely unique experience each and every year, and we will drive innovation that is meaningful, not incremental. While we aren't sharing those plans today, we look forward to doing so when the time is right. So kind of acknowledging that it almost didn't feel like a new Call of Duty came out. Remember, we were talking about that. I said, did it feel like a new Call of Duty came out this week? Because it kind of didn't. It was just, you open up the same application, the Call of Duty app, and you just jump into it. It says multiplayer. They changed the little image, but you still just hit the same button, and then it throws you into a different lobby, and you just start up multiplayer, and that's it. Not even that long ago. I shouldn't even say back in the day, when you didn't have this one app, you would start up a new game and go through a whole new menu, and at least it felt like a different title. It feels like everything's kind of merged together, and as they mentioned, it's very incremental. You got to really shake things up, I think, to kind of get this back on track. I don't know how willing they are to do it. That's the only problem. Apparently, they have 4 more Call of Duty games that are penciled in, so they're gonna roll for next half a decade and see what happens. It's just, it keeps getting more expensive. We know some of the budgets for this franchise, and as recent as 2 or 3 years ago, it was $800 million to make one of these things.
Jeez, that's insane.
That was in the FTC documents. We were finding all this information, and you're gambling that kind of, look, Call of Duty still, even in the down year, it's probably going to sell many copies, I'm sure, but it doesn't feel like how it was with Call of Duty even a few years ago, let alone go back to the 360 era when it was mayhem. You got the midnight release, is lines around the buildings and stuff, but even now more like everything's kind of just digital for a lot of people with these games. Call of Duty isn't even on the disc. You get the disc, you pop it in. Yep. It's just a launcher that downloads the thing anyway. So it's I don't know. They're losing some of that luster for Call of Duty, and at a bad time too, because Arc Raiders taken over, and so is Battlefield's actually shown up with something that's not terrible. So it's Battlefield 6 is at least pulling interest. It's not 2042 where they tripped over their shoelace right away out of the gate. So it's, man, I don't know. I don't know what they do.
They're in a bit of a spot right now. Like, people like us, older people, we like Call of Duty because we kind of grew up playing it, in the 2000s and all that. with Modern Warfare 1, 2, 3, 4, Black Ops games. But the younger crowd that play Fortnite and Valorant and Apex Legends and those types of games, and I don't think they really give a shit about Call of Duty, you know? And I wonder what the future of the franchise looks like, you know, over the next, like you said, 5 games that are coming out. I mean, I still think it's going to be a big pillar of core business for Activision, Microsoft, but I also feel like it's going to slowly start to taper off because, you know, it was really cool back in our day. Is it still cool, you know, in 2025? I mean, we like it because we've always liked it, but, you know, getting new players on board with Call of Duty, what does that look like? You know, do we have numbers on that? I think that's the most interesting part about the whole thing.
Call of Duty was considered one of those cool games back in the day, that and Grand Theft Auto, to where, man, so many parents would bring their kids in and the kid would basically get Call of Duty because they would convince the parent to buy it for him, essentially. So the parent comes up, you see the kid who's like, I don't know, 11 or 12 next to him, knowing that it's for them. And I had to read everything off the back, the mature rated label discussion. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And that was constant. Now I do wonder if it's just not, you're right, it's not that frequent anymore because they're playing Fortnite or Apex Legends or whatever. You know, a lot of these games they try to target even the teen rating, you know, to fit in with that sort of crowd. So it's Fortnite is popular, man.
I also hate that Call of Duty was, I don't want to say a serious military game because it was never, right. It was still very action based, right? With, you know, checkpoints.
It's a Michael Bay movie.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, and now it's kind of just turned into a parody of itself with all this just dumb shit that they put in, all the weird skins and all that crap. I mean, there's a place for it, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't like it.
You know, I knew we were in trouble was when we were like, oh, there's a new event for Warzone, and we dropped in, and it was, you could be Seth Rogen, and you drop to the map and you collect gummies so your character gets high and all of a sudden doesn't feel pain and can see through walls and stuff.
Yep.
I did stop and I did think about it for a minute. I was like, man, this is where we are with Call of Duty. The animation of Seth Rogen when he does the execution is him covering his eyes, throwing the gun at the ground, and it happens to just shoot you in the head. So
it just doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit that universe, in my opinion.
Nicki Minaj, yep. Was in there. Yep. That's
was Jane, Silent Bob in there? They were in there, right?
I think so. Yeah. I think that Ninja Turtles, Beavis and Butthead, everyone killed you apparently in this game.
I had Crash Bandicoot for a while. That was cool.
That's right. You had like the Wampa fruit and stuff.
Yep.
That's right. Oh man. It's a little different than back in the day when they had you going on covert assassination missions and stuff. So yeah, I think there's something to that too, because that does feel like the how do you do fellow kids moments in some of these games where, I did feel kind of old playing Call of Duty. It's like, man, have I outgrown Call of Duty? That's a weird thought to have. It's a weird thought.
We're all going to outgrow it the way it's going.
You're right. Not much longer until they come out with some kind of cel-shaded Fortnite looking thing and it's teen rated.
Probably.
It's all downhill. Then.
23 games. 23 Call of Duty games are out.
Right, it's been that many. I guess, because there's one a year. Yeah. Wow, that is crazy to do. Man, I'm looking at the list now, and they really did the last 4 years. Black Ops 7, Black Ops 6, Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2. And 2021 was Vanguard. And actually, no one really liked Vanguard. So, yeah, it hasn't gone well. Which, it's funny, we're saying, oh, they're not going to go to... I bet you next year is Modern Warfare.
Yeah, it's Modern Warfare 4. Wait, no. Is it Modern Warfare 4? Are we doing that again?
It would be modern. It would be the next. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. They say, oh, we're not going to do Black Ops or Modern Warfare back to back. Technically, by holiday next year, it'll have been 3 years since the last Modern Warfare. It's like, that's enough time. It's like, I guess. I don't know. I mean, the last time we really played Warzone and enjoyed it was during the Modern Warfare era. So Warzone's not very good anyway either. So I don't know. It's tough for Call of Duty. Tough.
Self-inflicted, I feel.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely is. Let me see any other. Here we go. Claw donated $20 to Toys for Tots. Shout out to Claw.
Hey, you.
Elliott's donated $5 for Toys for Tots. We have Avalon R donated $10 Toys for Tots. And that currently brings a total of $935 Toys for Tots. Shout out to everyone donating for the charity. Appreciate it. Last topic I have here for us is actually one going in 2026 when it comes to cost and pricing. Sean, I know you also made a video on this too. It was about Nintendo dealing with higher than expected even RAM costs as they continue to go up. 41% apparently is how much more they have to pay for RAM at this time going into 2026. And with AI and everything else going on, it seems like everyone is dealing with that, consumers included, because DDR5, 64 gigabyte kit of DDR5 costs right now more than the PlayStation 5 system does. Currently they're in like the $500 range for it. The PC I'm on now has, I'm going to say, an undisclosed amount of RAM.
128 gigabytes.
I look at this and I'm like, man, it wasn't that long. I mean, I guess it was a couple years ago. It's DDR5. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? What do I have here? I got to like put an insurance policy on my PC now. This is crazy. And it's gotten out of control. So there's a lot of questions around the pricing for the Switch 2 next year, but then also right around now, as we go into 2026, we'll just say a holiday 2027 release for a PS6 is what people are floating. I don't know how likely that is at this time, but you figure contracts are starting to be written up. RAM is starting to be figured out. Parts in general, they're figuring out the AMD chip that they're going to be doing, fabrication, all of that. It looks like we're going towards an expensive future here for these consoles.
Definitely.
And 2026, we might see price increases on the PS5, the Xbox Series again, and the Switch 2.
100%.
Yep.
I don't think so. I don't think it's an if. I think it's a when. Yesterday's price isn't today's price, and today's price isn't tomorrow's price. This is going to magically get better, and RAM is all of a sudden going to get cheaper. I honestly think it'll force PS6 and the next Xbox system to maybe take longer to come out, because you got to play the long game with this. Because if you launch it too high during the thing and then you have to increase an even higher price to an even higher price, like it's not gonna move the needle. And if it doesn't move the needle, companies aren't putting games on it and stuff like that because you don't have the install base. Like it's very volatile right now. And I'm supposed to believe that the fucking Star Wars KOTOR game's coming out like before 2030. You're out of your goddamn mind, because it's going to affect game development too. How do you think games are made? On computers and stuff, like
on computers.
Come on now.
I want to pause real quick. Rick donated $65 Toys for Tots. Grumpy Goron donated $20 Toys for Tots. That pushed the total up over $1,000. $1,020.
Good job, gentlemen.
Shout out.
Let's go.
Shout out to the chat, the audience, everyone donating. Really appreciate it. Good calls over here. Toys for Tots.
I mean, Sean's not wrong. Increasing memory costs affects everyone. Like everybody will be affected by this. It's not just end users or consumers. People that make games absolutely will be affected by it. The cost of development hardware will significantly increase as well, which means, less of those to go around, right? It has the potential of having really serious ramifications over the next couple of years. Now, you did say one thing, though, that I have to disagree with you, John. You were saying PlayStation 6, 2026? Absolutely not.
Oh, 2027.
Okay.
If I misspoke, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2027 is what's floated right now. But Sean might be right in the sense they look at the numbers and like, I don't know, does this make sense to price this thing this way, or do we hold out and wait?
I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why Steam has not priced their new device.
They said that.
Yeah,
Steam machine
because of that. Because they're going to get fucked too. Everything is going to get fucked. And you have to think RAM is in your phone, RAM is in
everything,
your smart devices. Like this isn't just a little thing, and you can't. And the beauty of it is now you don't have to use the tariff blanket anymore. You have this blanket, and this is a blanket that is something that's going to affect everything. So
Did you see what's being floated right now for phones, future phone releases? That's being floated is they're just going to put less RAM in the phones than what we've had, say, in the last 2 years. They're going to go, let's say there's normally 12, they're going to go down to like 8 is what's happening.
Well, I mean, you gotta do something. You know,
Do you think we'll get, because of this, because the whole thing about the Steam machine is, oh my gosh, there's only 8 gigabytes of VRAM. I mean, eventually they go, you got to make it work. Like for developers and stuff, it's like, hey, you know what? You got to figure it out. That's just where we are right now in the economy of scale and stuff.
Well, this is interesting because back in the days, right, of like N64, PlayStation, and that era, both of those systems only had like 4 megabytes of RAM, and that was fixed, right? And the developers had to work around the limitations of the hardware. For the PlayStation, they obviously leveraged the CD-ROM drive with all the assets and storing a lot of data on. On the N64, they used the cartridge, right, to have fast loading and things like that. But the difficult part of the world we live in today is that we have these engines like Unreal Engine and Unity, and these things they're very memory resource intensive things. So developers aren't like coding to the metal anymore like they used to really optimize and kind of tune the games to what they were doing back in the day. Now you have this big thing right in the middle, and you have a limited amount of optimizations that you can do, and you need a ton of memory to kind of make games look and run well. So if we're saying that we're going to have to start going like scaling down a little bit, then it is going to force developers to kind of think differently about how they make games. But it's also, I don't know how it's going to work, because there's an expectation that video games look a certain way and they play a certain way. And what we're saying is, if we're going to start reducing that or limiting that, then video games may not look as good as what we think they, should or play as well, right? So I think the future is very interesting. If we're saying that memory is going to basically stay where it is or even reduce over time. I don't know. That's going to be an interesting thing to see.
Yeah, the PS6, some of the numbers getting thrown around was like 32 gigabytes of RAM. I'm looking at this. Is this more of a lateral move? Do they go, you know what? We're going to go 16 gigs and then we'll have another pool over here for some additional resource like slower RAM or something. We've seen that before in the past, and it got really weird for some of these companies. Like Microsoft did that with the Xbox One, and they did some weird ED RAM on the. It didn't work out for them in the generation technically compared to the PS4. But that's gonna be the big question. Is maybe they just say, hey, you know what? It's 16 gigabytes, and we have some other stuff in the system to try to help out. Because if we went to 32 gigabytes, this thing would be more than $1,000, and we can't do it.
It's possible. I'm also wondering if they go back to having GPU memory and just regular memory.
That's a good point. That's fair, because the Steam machine has 16 gigabytes DDR5, and then it has 8 gigabytes on VRAM. That's right. People keep talking about 8 gigabytes, and then they kind of forget about the 16 gigabytes that's also in there. A lot of cost, between both of those pools.
Well,
so.
even like micro SD express cards stuff are going up in price. Like,
you're right.
Well, yeah.
It's everything.
You're right. Yeah. That was the big thing that was brought up. That's one of the reasons that apparently Nintendo stock was dropping, according to Bloomberg, is because everything is getting more expensive. That is kind of required for I mean, let's be real. You need an SD card, express card for the Switch too, because game key cards install what? How big was Skyrim? That was 50 plus gigabytes.
Yeah, how big is Intergrade? Like 80, 90 or something?
I think 90, yeah.
How big's Requiem? Oh, Requiem might not be super big. Resident Evil games usually aren't crazy big, but still,
You install WWE, you install Final Fantasy 7, integrate. All of a sudden, your 256 gigabytes of storage, it's not even fully that, is almost gone.
Yep. And plus, if you need 4 gigs for GameCube online.
Yep.
It adds up. It adds up quick. Even Nintendo games are getting bigger and bigger. I've deleted so much shit off my system already. Like, I don't. Some of it's because I didn't care for the game, Kirby Air Raiders. Some of it is because I just needed room. So it's like, okay, I got to make a decision here.
Yeah, that's man. It's next year is going to be so weird. All the AI stuff. Who knows what's going to happen there? And then everything being affected that I mean we really care about compared to AI. It's like it's having the spillover effect now. The ripples are hitting, and it's
Well, think about it
great.
though, man. Those prices go up again. Game prices go up. That is peak YouTube rage bait. That is some good money right there. Hey, you know what? It is what it is.
You know what my focus has kind of been turned to now is honestly just trying to find like cheap stuff for people with gaming. That's kind of what I'm trying to do now.
Hey, that $100 PS4 best deal in gaming right now.
I know, right? Yeah, that's the move. Yeah, stuff like that. It's man, it's tough. So anything you can find now that can get you through the next year or two, and maybe AI collapses on itself and maybe destroys the world. I don't know, but it's at least you'll have a DS Lite or a PS4 on the way out. You know, some good stuff. So, but I want to give a shout out to everyone who came out, donated for Toys for Tots. We really appreciate it. Get over $1,000. We started below 400, so that's quite an amount to have donated for a good cause. Anonymous came in as I'm saying that with $5 donated there, and I think I got okay. Hold on, Rubber Side Down donated $5. Anonymous again with $5. So shout out to everyone coming out. We're gonna run this again, as I said, through December. Next week, the 20th, is the last Spawncast of the year. So we'll be off on the 27th, and then we'll be back on the 3rd of January. All right. So we'll run it again, the fundraiser for the next show. But I do want to give a shout out to MVG, who came in kind of last minute, actually, as he saw people were unable to make it. MVG, thank you for coming out. Where can everyone find you? What's the move this week? What's coming up?
I have one more video to close out the year on Monday, so check that out. And I want to say thank you to the chat for donating to Toys for Tots. We did it. We hit the 1,000, so give yourselves a round of applause on that one. It's always a pleasure being on the show, John. I may swing by for next week as well if it's the last of the year. Don't know what you're planning, but I may pop in for that one.
Ugly sweater.
Yeah, I may
podcast.
break out the ugly sweater.
Everyone needs an ugly sweater.
Yep.
Sean, you got an ugly sweater, don't you?
I mean, people think all my clothes are ugly, so I could wear my WrestleMania 6 jacket. I got a lot of comments about that.
Okay.
It's fucking fire, dude. It's got like lightning on the front, like purple lightning, and then on the back it's got the picture of Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan in front of the big iceberg for the match. Shit's tight as fuck.
Yeah, MVG hit us with some developer knowledge there, so he makes us a bit smarter. Yes. Let's go over to check out MVG's video on the this week. No matter how ominous it sounds, let's go over to Sean. We're gonna find you.
Find me on RGT85. I have an interesting video going up tomorrow, talking about something I've noticed Nintendo doing more and more, and they just did it again recently, and I think it's potentially a bit of a slippery slope for them. So tune in to see what I have to say about it and what I'm talking about. And as always, fuck Lenny Kravitz.
Gosh. Shout out to Anonymous, who's came through with a $20 donation for Toys for Tots. Appreciate it. All right. I have tomorrow I have hopefully my 4K emulation PC that I have finished, and I got it all done for $200.
Does it run PS3?
I haven't tried PS3 yet. I have I did bring in a system. I'm going to attempt to build a PS3 emulation box.
I mean, if you're running what, PS2 at 4K?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. I feel like
PS2 with texture packs.
What specs? What specs is it?
Just need to find out tomorrow.
How many cores and threads? I don't want to watch your video.
4 and 8.
How much memory is in there?
4 and 8's tough for PS3.
Well, that's what I mean. I have another system I brought in that's 6 and 12.
6 and 12, yeah, you'll be fine with that.
That's the thing. I found that. So I have a system that I'm trying to get secondhand systems that are cheap, that are pretty easy to find online. And I found a video card that fit in nicely for it to get to 4K PS2, 4K GameCube with texture packs. So it looks really good. I dropped that screenshot, which I actually put it up on Twitter X anyway, of Age Under Fire, and it was good. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. So, but I will. We'll see. I'll have the specs and stuff tomorrow in this video.
Should have played 4K Geist because it has widescreen natively and it looks really good. I actually fucked around with that today for some reason.
That's a texture pack too.
No, it probably does actually.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a couple of. I know we're almost out of time, but there's a couple of good GameCube ones. Twin Snakes has a really good texture pack and widescreen.
That's the one I have.
Are you
that's
smiling? Because
yeah,
this is in tomorrow's video.
It looks pretty ridiculous. Is what I'll say.
Metroid Prime also has a really. I mean, obviously the Prime remaster has come out since then, but Prime there's a really good texture pack for Prime as well.
I would show that. Nintendo will kill me. There were so many I wanted to do, and I'm like, I don't know. Do I test it? I don't know. Maybe it's not in the thumbnail. Would be okay. Well. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We appreciate it. Shout out to everyone who donated for good calls with Toys for Tots. Ending the night at 1,075 as Juice Man Vaughn comes in with the $5 at the end. Toys for Tots. Shout out to Juice Man Vaughn. Appreciate it. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks to MG coming by. We'll see if he's in next week as the last show of the year with his ugly sweater, and I'll have to get an ugly sweater too set up for that then, if that's the case. Thanks everyone, and we will see you next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time.